Hey guys, how y'all doing today? So in this video I want to talk about the Fitbit Versa. I know it's been out for a while, but in this video I'm just going to share some tips. So tip number one, rotate from arm to arm. And you might want to consider doing that with any kind of band wearing devices you use on a daily basis. I know we usually take it off when we take a shower. Depends on that. If it's waterproof, you probably can take a shower with it too. But I suggest that you move it from your left hand and your right hand from time to time, because it leaves a permanent tan line on your arm, I would say. So moving it from the right arm to the left arm would give this arm the time to actually blend in back with the rest of your skin tone. So for me, I wear my Fitbit Versa on my right arm. And what I notice, and I've been noticing for a while, but I kind of like ignore it, that there's a white skin, like my skin is not getting no sun, no nothing at all, like it's not breathing, but it just looked like a white ring, you would say a farmer's tan, for instance. So I started rotating it. So every other day I rotate it to my left arm. So one day it's on the left and another day it's on the right, to kind of like balance out the mark, that little white ring around my arm, because when I take it off it's visible. I mean, you can see it that I was wearing some type of watch or something like that. So tip number one, I would say to rotate it. And you can switch it, the software, where it's on your dominant end as far as your left or your right. So that's a cool thing. So like I said, tip number one, rotate it from arm to arm. Tip number two, you might want to put this thing in your socks when you're exercising on a stationary machine. Why do I say that? Because this is what I noticed when I was on my elliptical machine. It was actually giving me a less count. I was counting in my head that I did 50 steps, right? But when I got out the machine and checked the numbers between the last number and the current number, it wasn't matching up. And what I discovered is because I'm stationary and not moving, because when you're walking on a track, you're actually moving. But I'm actually stationary. I'm not going anywhere, even though my arms and my legs is going back and forth. But if you don't have a long enough stride in your arm, it's not going to get counted. At least for me. I mean, you can do your own testing, but I know that's what was happening to me. But then when I started putting in my socks, I know that my legs were going back and forth much at a further distance than my arms. Because if I put my arm on for instance, on the stationary machine and just holding the bar, but my legs are moving and my arms are going nowhere, it's not really counting. And like I say, you can try it for yourself and see what I'm talking about. But I know for me, that's what I do. And I'm just sharing this tip. So tip number two, if you're on a stationary machine, put the Fitbit in your socks. Tip number three, if you're going up a flight of stairs, my personal test with this thing is you have to at least go 10 steps up to get counted for a floor. And while you're going up, swing your arms. Don't put them by your side. Don't put them in your pocket. Don't hold on to the rail. Actually do like this, because you get a more accurate count. Because I've been up the flight of stairs before where it didn't count. Okay, I went up, down, maybe 10 times. And 3 of those steps might be missing. And I realized it's the motions that I was not performing that was preventing me from getting my accurate count. But now it does. I used to run up the stairs and it didn't count either. So what I do is when I run up the stairs, I actually move my arm back and forth like this. And it counts. So tip number three, when you're going up a flight of stairs, make sure it's 10 steps at least. And then move your arms while you're going up. So that's tip number three. Tip number four, and this is pertaining to the Fitbit devices. I'm not sure how it works on the other devices. I know for this device, it gives you a reminder 10 minutes to the hour to meet that 250 count quote. So if you haven't been moving for the last hour and you haven't met that 250, the Fitbit Versa and Fitbit other devices too, give you a reminder to move. Try to make that count. Take that advice, because sitting for too long is unhealthy. There's many studies that have been done to let you know that sitting too long is unhealthy. So if you're sitting at a desk and you're working all day and you get that reminder that you haven't moved in a while, or you haven't met that 250 count within that hour, use it. Just get up, walk around the office, walk out in the parking lot until you get that 250. And it's a two-part deal. It's a two-part benefit. You get your numbers, and you get to get the blood flowing back in your legs anymore, which will prolong your life. Because they said sitting too long can decrease your life. I'm not saying that. I've read it somewhere. You can research for yourself to get that information. So tip number 4 is move when your Fitbit device tells you to move. It's good for your health. Tip number 5, invest in a screen protector. So far, I've rubbed up against the wall several times accidentally, and I've made a visible scratch on this thing. And the scratch is not that bad, but it's visible. So to prevent it from getting more scratches, I decided to get me a screen protector. And this one is made by IQ Shield. So all I have to do is peel this off, because it's specially made for the Fitbit Versa. There's no cutting involved. It's just peel and stick. So tip number 5. Invest in a screen protector if you want to protect the screen on your Fitbit Versa. Tip number 6, buy an extra charger. There's many times I went to work and I forgot to charge it that night, and then I sitting at work and this thing is flashing red, getting ready to die, and there's no way for me to charge it. It's not like I can plug a USB plug in there and charge it up. You know it needs that actual charger that came with it, but you can buy an extra one and keep it at work. So if you happen to be at work and you're running out of juice and you have that extra charger there plugged into your computer or your wall socket, you can just pop it off your hand, pop it in the charger, and get that boost. And then you leave the other one at home. So that way now you don't have to worry about leaving the charger at work or leaving the charger at home, especially on the weekend. You can't go back to work and get it because the building is closed. And you might not be able to leave work to come home to get your charger. So to kill all of that frustration and headache and kicking yourself in the foot that you forgot to bring your charger with you, one at work, one at home. And now you got both bases covered. And if you got a car that has a USB port, if you really want to, you can go get another one and you have one in the car too. So tip number 6, buy an extra charger. Tip number 7, and this is built into the Fitbit Versa. It has an app that does relaxation exercises. And some people, they get stressed out, frustrated and all that stuff. And all that stuff is not good for your mind and your body and all that. Use this app. Relax. Chill out. It's not the end of the world. Life goes on. So if you're the kind of person that gets stressed out, frustrated, upset, all that stuff over every little thing, you might want to start using this app to mellow out. It's good for your health. So use the app. Tip number 7, chill out, relax, use the app. All right? Okay, so those are my 7 tips I wanted to share with you about the Fitbit Versa. I hope at least one of them appeals to you, if not all. And if you have any tips that you want to share, just put it in the comments, because you might know something that I don't know, and I'm willing to take advice from you too, just like I'm giving you advice. All right? Okay, so that's going to be it for this video. If you enjoyed it, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, consider doing that. And go ahead and share this video with your friends and family and everybody else. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. So till then, take care, and I'll see you next time.